This is Mesmerizing Melodies ASMR, and I'm so excited to be with you today. Today's video is going to be a fun one. Yesterday was Dr. Seuss Day, March 2nd, I think, was his birthday. So there's actually a musical called Seussical, and it's a musical based on Dr. Seuss's stories and characters. So I decided that for today's video and Friday's video, I will be singing some songs from Seussical to celebrate Dr. Seuss. So I will be singing some songs from Seussical as well as touching the mic as I sing, and that is it. If you enjoy my content, please be sure to like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. Now, without further ado, let's get started. So, at the very beginning of the show, we see the cat come out on the stage, the cat in the hat, and he says, or she, it can be either a boy or a girl, after all of those years being stuck on a page, did you ever imagine you'd see me on stage? Now I'm here. There's no telling what may ensue. No, there's no telling what, but I'll give you a clue. And then he starts to sing. Oh, the things you can think, oh, the things you can think, if you're willing to try. Think invisible ink, or a kink with a stink, or a stare to the sky. If you open your mind, oh, the things you will find lining up to get loose. Oh, the things you can think when you think about Seuss. Da-na-na. And then everybody starts coming on stage. Seuss. Seuss. Oh, the things you can think, any thinker who thinks can come up with a few. Oh, the things you can think a trip on a ship to the Vipera Lip, or to Solace Think a beautiful schlop with a cherry on top. You don't need an excuse. Oh, the things you can think when you think about Seuss, 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 Seuss. And now we get kind of an introduction of all the main characters. So, think of an elephant up in a tree. Think of a person too tiny to see. Think of a bird with a one-feathered tail, going on adventures down a dangerous trail. Think of a bird who flies off on a spree. Think of a kangaroo sour as can be. Think of a general crazy for war. Think of a cat who pops up at your door. And the cat says, how do you do and hello? I'll be running the show. I'm your host and MC. He's your host and MC. I'll pop up here and there, and you'll never know where, who or what he might be. You'll see. Take a tip from the cat and hold on to your hat, 'cause this ain't Mother Goose. Think right over the brink when you think about Seuss. Seuss, 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 Seuss. An unusual story will soon be unfurled of an elephant trying to save a small world, and a boy from that world who has troubles galore. Just think from the planet of Who, and the smallest of small, to the jungle of Newell, and the largest of all. You think and 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 think. Just think. Oh, the things you can think and wonder and dream far and wide as you dare. When your things have run dry, in the blink of an eye, there's another think there. If you open your mind, oh, the things you will find lining up to get loose. Oh, the things you can think, 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 when you think about Seuss, when you think about Seuss, when you think about Seuss, 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 Seuss. Such a cute opening number. Okay, moving on. So now we are introduced to Horton the elephant in the jungle of Newell. Horton. On the 15th of May, in the jungle of Newell, in the heat of the day, in the cool of the pool, he was splashing, splash, enjoying the jungle's great joys, when Horton the elephant, Horton the elephant, Horton the elephant heard a small noise. So Horton stopped splashing, he looked toward the sound. That's funny, thought Horton, there's no one around. Then he heard it again, just a very faint yelp, as if some tiny person were calling for help. Help! Help! I'll help you, said Horton, but who are you and where? He looked and he looked, he could see nothing there, but a small speck of dust blowing past, through the air. I say, how confusing. I never heard tell of a small speck of dust that was able to yell. So you know what I think? I think there must be someone on top of that small speck of dust. Some poor little person who's shaking with fear that he'll blow in the pool. He has no way to steer. He's alone in the universe. I'll just have to save him, because after all, a person's a person, no matter how small. A person's a person, no matter how small. So gently and using the greatest of care, the elephant stretched his great trunk through the air, and he lifted the dust speck and carried it over and placed it down safe on a very soft clover. And then the sour kangaroo comes in and goes, "Humph," humped a voice. 'Twas the sour kangaroo, and the young kangaroo in her pouch said, "Humph, too." Why, that speck is as small as the head of a pin. A person on that? Why, there never has been. You're the biggest blame fool in the jungle of Newell, and I don't care who I tell. The biggest blame fool in the jungle of Newell, and I think so as well. Maybe I'm nasty, maybe I'm cruel, but you're the biggest blame fool in the jungle of Newell. Horton says, "It's true, please believe me, I tell you sincerely. My ears are quite keen, and I heard him quite clearly. I know there's a person down there, and what's more, quite likely there's 2, even 3, even 4. And then some more monkeys join in the jungle. Ha, laughed a voice. Ha, laughed some others. Ha, 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 laughed the Wickersham brothers. Oh, he's the biggest blame fool in the jungle of Newell, and monkeys like us should know. We've been out on a limb looking down on him. He's fat, he's dumb, he's slow. Elephants ain't too swift as a rule, but he's the biggest blame fool in the jungle of Newell, 'cause he's talking to a speck, talking to a speck, to a speck of dust. Talking to a speck, talking to a speck, to a speck of dust. R-E-S-P-E-C-K. Oh, please take that speck away. Did you hear, did you hear, did you hear, did you hear? Through the jungle, the news quickly spread. Did you hear, did you hear, did you hear? He talks to a dust speck. He's out of his head. And then the cat comes in, and the cat comes in like throughout the show as different kind of funny interludes. So this cat is like a news anchor, like on the scene. Our topic today is like elephants. We hear voices. What do you think, folks? Is the elephant off his trunk? Don't go away. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. And then we go back to the animals. Biggest blame fool in the jungle of Newell. introduced to Gertrude, one of the birds who has a major crush on Horton. She goes, "I'm Gertrude McFuzz, and I live right next door. He's never done anything crazy before. Biggest blame fool in the jungle of Newell. He's always been friendly and loyal and kind. I just don't believe Horton's out of his mind." Did you hear, did you hear that we're introduced to another bird named Maisie? "I'm Maisie the bird, and I live in that tree. Did you hear, did you hear? Enough about Horton. Let's talk about me. Let's talk about me." Yeah. And then everybody's just talking about Horton. "Talking to a speck of dust. Blame fool in the jungle of Newell. Talking to a speck of dust. Blame fool in the jungle of Newell." Horton. "I just have to save them because after all, a person's a person, no matter how small. A person's a person, no matter how. Biggest blame fool in the jungle of Newell, in the jungle anywhere. Biggest blame fool in the jungle of Newell, in the jungle of Newell, in the jungle of Newell, in the jungle of Newell. Sour Kangaroo does some riffs, and it's fun. And that's the end of that song. So now, we get into, everybody goes away. Horton's feeling a little sad, but he hasn't given up hope that there's something on that speck of dust. So he goes, "Hello? Is anyone there?" And then we're introduced to the Who's. This is a song called "Here on Who." Well, this is the mayor of Whoville. "We're Who's here, we are Who's here, smaller than the eye can see. It's true, sir, we're Who's who, sir, I'm a who and so is she. We're tiny little people blowing by in the air, wondering how and why. We're on Who, the tiniest planet in the sky. A la 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 hoo hoo. A la 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 hoo. A la 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 hoo hoo. A la la la. We're Who's here, win or lose here, struggling to stay alive. Each gust propels our dust. Oh, how the heck do Who's survive? At any given moment we could crash and be drowned, hitting the ground. Oh my, here on Who, the tiniest planet in the sky. Who, I'm the mayor. Who, I'm his wife. Who, just imagine the Who's unusual life. Picture the tiniest houses and grocery stores. Who, tiny umbrellas that drip on the tiniest floors. Who, the tiniest tunnels and tiniest streets. Miniature buses with miniature seats. Miniature buildings with miniature windows and doors. Horton says, "No smaller town than yours. We've got a marching band that is small but grand. Oh, you got to hear them wail. And the Grinch is here, and every year," and then the Grinch comes on stage, "I reenact my Christmas tale. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch who lived just north of Whoville did not." And they all laugh, because this is after that story. Imagine a place that is tidy and totally clean. Who, Grinch, where even a Grinch wouldn't dare to be totally mean. Who, you think that it's heaven on earth? Yes, you do. But heaven on earth isn't heaven on Who. Troubles on Who are the biggest that you've ever seen. We're on the brink of war. They say we're going to war, and oh my, 'cause if we do, then here on Who, well, you can kiss Whoville goodbye. Our skies are unbearably dark, and war is unbearably near, and that's not the end of our troubles here. For on the other side of town, the truffula trees were all cut down. They once stood tall in all their glory. But that's another story. Little allude to the Lorax there. So here on who we live in fear, we're drifting through space and cannot steer a troubled and a tiny land. Our future's in your hand. It's up to you, sir. Please help who, sir? You're the only one who hears. You must, sir, save our dust, sir, now that we have reached your ears. We're tiny little people saying thanks in advance, hoping perchance you'll try. Here on who, the tiniest planet in the sky. And then Horton says, I won't let you down. No, I won't let you fall. A person's a person, no matter how small. A person's a person, no matter how small. Ooh. So we meet the mayor and the mayor's wife and their son Jojo. Jojo is getting trouble in school for thinking too many thinks. He has a problem where his thinks kind of come to life. So the mayor and the mayor's wife are going to go to a parent-teacher conference at school, and they're like, Jojo, have your bath and go to bed. So Jojo is in the bath and he's just trying to behave himself. Try not to think, try to behave. Try not to think. I'll think of taking a bath in a dripping old tub going plink, 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 plink. But when I think of that plinkety plink, I see fish swimming by in a school. Hey, maybe this tub is McGillicud's pool. So then he starts thinking about fish and things that could be in the tub. This might be a pool like I read of in books, connected to one of those underground brooks, an underground river that starts here and floats right under the bathtub. And then, who knows, it's possible. Anything's possible. It might go along down where no one can see, the Interstate Highway 203, right under the wagon, right under the toes of Mrs. Ambrosa, who's hanging out clothes. It's possible. Anything's possible. This might be a river now, mightn't it be? Connecting McGillicud's pool with the sea. Then maybe some fish might be swimming toward me. It's possible. Anything's possible. Oh, the sea is so full of a number of fish. If a fellow is patient, he might get his wish. And that's why I think that I'm not such a fool when I see Tyrant-fish in McGillicud's pool. It's possible. Anything's possible. It's possible. Anything's possible. It's possible. Anything's possible. But at that point, Jojo's flooded the tub. His things got him in trouble again. Jojo's flooded the bathtub, and his parents are very, very angry with him for thinking too many things. So they end up sending him to the military academy, where we meet the general. He's a fun character. Here we go. I'm General Genghis Khan Schmitz. I scared children out of their wits. But you'll see at a glance, sir, my school is the answer for shirkers and dreamers and twits. And in this case, I'd say the shoe fits. Turn, 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 hot, feet together, chin up, eyes on the prize, parade march. So he's like training Jojo. The military academy is the place where he should be sent. We'll drill the silliness from his head. I'm sure we'll make a dent. We'll teach him fighting and left and righting until he's muscled and tan. A hot 2, 3, he's pathetic. A hot 2, 3, unathletic. A hot 2, 3, but I'm betting we can. The military, that's what makes a boy a man. Schmitz, 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 Schmitz. So all the other military people come on and they're saying his name, Schmitz. The military's extraordinarily good for somebody meek. He'll bunk with bullies who beat him up at least 3 times a week. He'll sweat and shiver and eat raw liver. It's all a part of the plan. A hot 2, 3 when they suffer. A hot 2, 3 boys get tougher. A hot 2, 3 and it's time he began. The military, that's what makes a boy a man. Schmitz, 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 Schmitz. Our boys believe in the right of every who to eat their bread butter side up, butter side up. One thing we trust on this fragile speck of dust is eating bread butter side up, butter side up. And as for those who like their butter down, we'll nucleate 'em, we'll spiffilate 'em, we'll go to war and run them out of town. So this whole war on who is from people who eat their bread butter side up or butter side down. A hot 2, 3, we enlist him. A hot 2, 3 in our system, and boys soon see nothing's easier than the military. That's what makes a boy a man. And then he kind of leads them off stage by singing 1, 2, 3. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them semi-am. I do not like them semi-am. Sound off eggs and ham. Sound off semi-am. I do not like green eggs and ham. So Jojo's at the military academy, not really happy. Meanwhile, Horton is still guarding his dust speck on top of the clover. I've been guarding this clover for over a week, getting laughed at for thinking a dust speck can speak. Well, let them all laugh. I'll try not to mind, for I've found something that they'll never find. There are secrets on a leaf, in the water, in the air, hidden planets, tiny worlds, all invisible. Not a person seems to know, not a person seems to care. There is no one who believes a thing I say. Well, I'm fairly certain, at one time or other, great thinkers all feel this way. I'm alone in the universe, so alone in the universe. I've found magic, but they don't see it. They all call me a lunatic. Okay, call me a lunatic. If I stand on my own, so be it. 'Cause I have wings, yes I can fly around the moon and far beyond the sky. And one day soon, I know there you'll be. One small voice in the universe, one true friend in the universe, who believes in me. And then we see Jojo in his little bunk at the military academy, and he sings, I'm alone in the universe, so alone in the universe. My own planets and stars are glowing. No one notices anything. Not one person is listening. They don't have any way of knowing. Then Horton says, nobody knows that I have wings. Yes, I can fly around the moon and far beyond the sky. Well, someday soon you will hear my plea. one small voice in the universe, one true friend in the universe. Please believe in me. And then Horton tries to talk to the dustbag again and goes, hello, hello. And Jojo hears him. Hello? Horton, who's there? It's me, Jojo, the mayor's son. I'm Horton, the elephant. Are you real, or are you a very large think? Oh, I'm real, all right. I would state that, Nick. In my thinks, I imagine a lot of strange places. A lot of strange things, and I go to a lot of strange places as if I had wings. I love a good think. Well, for me, that goes double. Sometimes my thinks are what get me in trouble. When you think, do you dream? In bright colors. Me too. And I go to strange places like Seussical. When you think, do you think you can fly to the stars? Little friend, no one else could have thinks such as ours. Yes, I have wings, and I can fly around the moon and far beyond the sky. You called my name, and you set me free. One small voice in the universe, one true friend in the universe, who believes in me. Good night, Jojo. Good night, Horton. See you in Seussical. So cute. Okay, so now we're getting back to Gertrude, the little bird who has a crush on Horton. She comes on stage and she goes, "Love song for Horton, number 437." Or something like that. Do-do, 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 do-do-do-do. There once was a girl bird named Gertrude McFuzz, and she had the smallest plain tail ever was. One droopy droop feather was all that she had, and oh, that one feather made Gertrude so sad. She curled it, she dyed it, she gave it a puff. She decked it with flowers, but it wasn't enough. For no matter what, it just was what it was. A tail that simply wasn't meant to catch the eye of an elephant. The one-feathered tail of Miss Gertrude McFuzz. So Gertrude has this major crush on Horton, but she doesn't really have an attractive bird-like tail to kind of attract her mate. She's got a little tiny little, like a measly little feather, and she just feels really insecure about it. And then, who should come on stage but Maisie the bird, who's got this incredible, beautiful tail. She's a diva. She's just like full of herself. And she's like, "Hi Gertrude, how you doing?" And so she's like, "I was once a plain little bird like you, kid. One pathetic feather was all I grew. I had nothing show-offish. What's a plain bird to do? And there's certainly nothing show-offish on you." Thank you, Maisie. Then I made a plan for my self-improvement. No more crumbs, I vowed. I would have the cake. Yes, I went to the doctor, Dr. Dake by the lake, and he told me what sort of a pill I should take. Now I'm amazing, Maisie, as feathered can be now. Amazing, Maisie, it was all for sale. Bum, bum. Amazing, Maisie, the birds are all whistling at me now. Amazing, Maisie, baby, that's my tail. Bump, bump. High or low? Then this is Gertrude. Gee, it's fabulous, watch her go. Gee, I'm envious to and fro. Maisie's fabulous tail, I wish I had one like it, left and right. Best I've ever seen, day or night. Kid, you're turning green. What sight, Maisie's fabulous tale. Get those pills, and you can have frills for all of the world to see. And you can be amazing, well, almost, as amazing as me. Da-na-na. So basically, Maisie had essentially what is the closest relation to, like, plastic surgery in the Seuss world. So basically, she just took a couple pills and she grew this amazing tail, and she told Gertrude to do the same. So, Gertrude. So she flew to the doctor named Dake, whose office was high in a tree by the lake, and she cried, "Mr. Doctor, oh please, do you know of some kind of pill that will make my tail grow?" And then it's the cat again as the doctor. "Tut tut," said the doctor, "such talk is too absurd. Your little tail is just right for your kind of bird." So Gertrude's like, "What?" And then the cat goes, "In other words, your little tail is just right for your kind of bird." Then Gertrude says, "Then Gertrude had tantrums. She raised such a din that finally the doctor just had to give in." So she threw a little tantrum. "All right already, bring in the pillberry bush." So Gertrude takes a pill off the bush and eats it. Gulp. Gulp. Gulp, gulp. Gulp. She eats a couple. And then, "What was that? Something's itching me. What was that? Something's twitching me. What was that? Are those feathers I see? I think my tail's beginning. Oh my word, this is wonderful. Second, third, wow, I'm colorful. What a bird. I'm beginning to be amazing Gertrude. Just look at that tail she is sporting. Amazing Gertrude. Thank you, Dr. Dake. Thanks, Doc. Amazing Gertrude. And hopefully I'll impress Horton. Amazing Gertrude. One more pill will do me good. Yes, it will. One more pill. Soon she'll have the biggest tail. She'll have the biggest tail. I'll have the biggest tail. The biggest tail of all." So she takes a lot of the pills. A lot of them. So, trouble ensues. Those mischievous little monkeys from the very beginning take Horton's clover, because they're making fun of him. They're like, "Nothing's on this clover." So they take the clover, and they run around the jungle of Newell. And eventually a big bird named Vladikoff takes it, and then flies with it all the way away, and then drops it into a field of thousands of clovers that all look the same as the one that the Who's are on. So Horton is there just sitting around, like, trying to talk to each clover, trying to find his clover that was stolen from him with the Who's on it, amongst thousands of clovers that look the same. So it's kind of a problem. So while Horton is looking at the clovers, Gertrude tries to come in with her big tail now. So he's sitting on the ground looking at clovers, and she comes in and she says, "It's taken all my courage to approach you, not to mention all my stamina to follow you across the hills and deserts, but I feel as if I'm ready to confess to you the feelings that I've hidden with great diligence and labor behind the facade of your odd little next-door neighbor. My eyes are too small, I have very large feet, and I'm not very proud of my pitiful tweet. But I've now got a tail that is something to see." 102, 103. "Oh, notice me, Horton, feather by feather. This is your next door neighbor calling. Notice me, Horton, Horton, together we could be great. Oh, notice me, Horton, put down the clover. This is your next door neighbor calling. There's a new leaf leave, your neighbor's turned over. Then Horton says, over and over, clover by clover. Not paying attention to her at all. And then they both sing at the same time. I was just a no one only yesterday. You showed up and showed me something more. Now I've become a someone who has someone to believe in and to be there for. And then back to Gertrude alone. I will not give up hope. I was hooked from the start when I noticed your kind and your powerful heart. So notice me, Horton. Or the world would be something new. Notice me, Horton, if they noticed a thing or two. Notice me, Horton, the way I notice you. Alright. So, then Horton says, 2,999,999. It's hopeless. He's counted a lot of clovers. And then we see Maisie come in on a tree sitting on a nest. And Maisie says, you said it, kid. And then Horton's like, who's there? Oh, it's me, Maisie. Up here. Maisie, are you on a nest? Yeah, you want to make something of it? No. I just never thought I'd see you on a nest. Neither did I, Hort. Neither did I. So Maisie sings a song. I was down in Fort Worth, just a girl on the wing, when I met Tweet McFirth. Oh, could that night owl sing? Tell yourself how lucky you are. It was 3 weeks of bliss, then the usual seg. He flew off to San Juan, leaving me with this egg. Tell yourself how lucky you are. Now I'm bored and I'm cranky and tired, sitting day after day. Who knew so much work was required? I'd much rather play. I need a vacation, I'm due for some rest. Hey Horton, would you maybe like to sit on my nest? Well, Maisie, I couldn't. Of all silly things, I haven't got feathers, I haven't got wings. And not only that, but I'm here on a search. I just couldn't leave my poor who's in the lurch. I won't be gone long, kid, I give you my word. I'll hurry right back, 'cause I'm that sort of bird. Oh, Horton, I promise I'll fly back real soon. I'd only be gone for, say, 1 afternoon. Well, we all need vacations. All right, go on, take it. I'll sit on your egg, and I'll try not to break it. But please come back quickly, 1 hour, maybe 2. I need to find Jojo. I've got to save who? So Maisie gets to leave, and Horton the elephant is sitting on her bird nest. We see Horton get on the nest. Then carefully, tenderly, gently he crept up the trunk to the nest where the little egg slept. Then Horton the elephant smiled. Now that's that. And he sat and he sat and he sat and he sat. So basically, this is the end of the first act. Horton sits on the egg, and through, winter, summer, spring, storms, weather, he's still sitting on that egg. Maisie has not come back. So Maisie basically left him with this kid, her child. So, all of a sudden, hunters come and capture Horton sitting on the egg, and then he's sold at auction to the circus. Because what a sight, seeing a Horton sit on a bird's egg, or an elephant sit on a bird's egg. So he's captured and sold to the circus, and that's the end of Act 1. So I'm going to end my video here, and I'll be back on Friday for Act 2 of Seussical the Musical. Stephen Flattery. So if you want to look them up, they've done a bunch of other stuff too. But Aronson Flattery wrote Seussical the